This is the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yes.
And the closest point from here to Europe, which is Spain, is only 14 kilometers. And you see here we have two terminals with the containers terminals, and also we have a very huge car carrier terminal. Because I have to mention that in Morocco there is two factories, two plants, Renault and Stellantis.
Okay.
Renault factory is producing 400,000 cars per year. And these cars, 75% of the cars is produced also in Morocco. That's what explains the 1,400 companies that are scattered around the region. They produce spare parts cars and they deliver to the plants. But not only they deliver to the Renault plants, factory, they produce extra and they export it to Europe.
Okay.
Like that, and this kind of cargo moves by trucks. You see here the timeline here, and we can split it to two parts.
Yes.
Because here it's the port and the industrial zones. If you see the port, we launched the work in 2003, and we opened the first port in 2007. We received the first vessel. That means the work takes only 4 years, which is very important in a speedy manner. And then we opened the second port in 2010. That's a different kind of cargo handling. It's a Ro-Ro passenger port. This is for containers. The first port was for containers. The second port was for Ro-Ro passenger port, because Morocco, as we said before, is too close to Europe, and there is plenty of passengers moving on both sides. But not only passengers, the trucks. There are different kind of products that moves by trucks for different reasons, for logistic reason. Let me give you the example of automotive, textile, electronics, and so on. And the last year, for instance, the port have handled more than 500,000 trucks. To give you an idea, it's nearly 2,000 trucks per day crossing the port. Okay.
Wow.
And in terms of automotive, we have to, I will address later on, let's move to the third port.
Yes.
After 2010, we opened in 2019 the third port, which is Tanger Med Port here. And Tanger Med Port, at its own, is the biggest port in Africa, with a capacity of 6 million TEUs. And that's what makes us ahead of the European ports. That means the whole port now has a capacity of 9 million TEUs. But the most important that we have passed this capacity. Last year we reached 10 million. You can ask me why, how we do it. The nominal capacity is the nominal capacity. But if you put efficiency, manner of working, if you optimize you can over the capacity. And you see here we are in front of the map of the whole project. You see Tanger Med 1, this is the port we start in 2007.
Okay.
This port, exactly.
Okay.
There are two main terminals, MES Group and Eurogate Group. Each terminal has a capacity of 1.5 million TEUs. That means together the port has 3 million capacity.
Wow.
But one thing very important, we reached 4 million, even as the capacity is 1 million, because this terminal is one of the most efficient in the world. Yeah.
Wow.
And we have car carrier terminal. From this berth, we export the cars. You see plenty cars are already parked, ready to be shipped. And you have in the multi-purpose berth for different type of cargo, local production. And we have a petroleum terminal for the need of the region, and also we do some trading for bunkering of the vessel. You see plenty of vessels that's crossing the Strait of Gibraltar. As I speak about, more than 400 vessels crossing ahead of the port, and sometimes they need bunker to fuel and so on, and we can deliver it from here. Quickly, this is the logistic area. We can see from here. Get a look here there. Okay. This is the logistic warehouses.
Thank you.
And we have another plant a little bit south of Tanger, 200 kilometers south of Tanger. This is Stellantis. They produce a Citroën car. Electric Citroën car and so on. This has a capacity of production of 200,000 cars. Both together, they produce 600,000 cars. That means Morocco export today 600,000, and we have the ambition to reach 1 million. And the industry, the automotive industry became the first incomes
income
for the country,
for the country.
ahead of fertilizer, because Morocco is very known by fertilizer produced, phosphate and so on.
I'm standing right in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea on this side and the Atlantic Ocean on this side. I'm also privileged to be able to see Spain from where I'm standing. And of course, I am right at the Tanger Med 1.
This ecosystem, the whole ecosystem, was really playing a major role in the development. And it succeeded before we have the port. Without port, you don't do that. And as I mentioned before, the business volume generated by these zones is $7 billion US. They're nearly 10% of the GDP of the country. Yeah, okay. And you see, the jobs and also the logistic flow in terms of trucks, five units. We are here now, the position where we exist, and here we have the Roro passenger port. The Roro passenger port, this is from this port that the 500,000 cars left the country and come to the country. It's playing a role like a bridge connected with Morocco and Europe.
Yeah.
Exactly. And during the summer, during the low season, you have the impression that only cargo flows that are the trucks and so on. But in summertime, we have passengers. Plenty Moroccan immigrants living in Europe and working in Europe. They come to visit their family and relatives in Morocco, and we organize a dedicated operation we call it Marhaba to make this transit very easy for them. The location chosen for the project was chosen for a symbolic and strategic reason. It's the closest point to Europe from Africa, and it's in the heart of Strait of Gibraltar. Strait of Gibraltar is one of the main straits of the world. It's the second busiest strait with more than 130,000 ships crossing every year, more than 60 million containers capacity crossing every year also, and up to 7 million passengers crossing from Morocco to Spain and back from Spain to Morocco. And that represented a unique and potential to position Morocco as a key hub in the world and global trade, provided that there is a vision, clear and coherent strategy that were put from the first day. And that vision was driven and given from the first day by royal directives, with ambition, with determination, and also with a long-term commitment. And I can say that that vision is today the key success of the project. This is the ranking we can see here. It's edited every year by UNCTAD, United Nations Conference of Trade, and it gives you an idea about how easy to do business in the country, how the country is connected to the rest of the world. This is very, very important. They do it on a daily basis, and it gives you an idea, if you choose Morocco as a base, how easy to do business, as I said. And the important for us is this is before Tanger Med. This is the position where Morocco was before Tanger Med, and this is in advance of Tanger Med. And we are now on top 20 of the best connected countries in the world, and we keep to this position up to today. It's Tanger Med 2. This is at its own the biggest port of. This is a 6 million TEU.
This is the latest. This is the newest.
The newest, it's opened in 2019, and it's the biggest. And we have MES Group, and here we have Tanger Alliance, which is a Moroccan company, will belong to the group of Tanger Med with the liner Hapag-Lloyd. And this, as I said, it has a 6 million TEU capacity, and this terminal have invested more than $1 billion euro. And they move, because they move to the new technology. It's all here remotely. There is no, it's not manned, it's unmanned. All is automatic here in this terminal.
His Majesty the King Mohammed VI has been at the forefront of ensuring that this port, Tanger Med 1 and 2, is fully functional. And of course, it's being used by most European countries and African countries for the ships that dock here and use the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. And that's why this particular port is one of the most efficient ones in the world.
The entrance of the port is narrow. We can only deal with one ship after the other. In Salalah, I have visited Salalah. Salalah, they can manage 4 ships at the same time. It's a matter of space. But in terms of efficiency, if we talk only about efficiency, we are the best. We work we work here with what we call the just-in-time. Just-in-time means when the vessel reaches the port limit, he doesn't wait. He goes directly to the and this manner to work is very efficient, because you can already contact the vessel and tell him reduce your speed and come at the time. And by reducing the speed, they reduce also emission. The port is handling today 10.2 million TEUs, which make the port in the top 20 worldwide. We are the 17 biggest ports in the world in terms of containers. We deal every year with more than 17,000 calls of ships. And in the industrial and logistic zone, we have more than 1,400 companies implemented and scattered in the northern region of the country. These are producing different kind of products and businesses: aeronautic, automotives, agribusiness, textile, and other stuffs. And what is more important, that companies and this ecosystem, this whole ecosystem, industrial, logistic, the port, is creating a needed value of more than 17 billion US dollar. And also it creates 130,000 job opportunities. Tanger Med now is directly connected from the Far East, I mean China, which is the factory of the world, and it takes only 3 weeks to reach Morocco. And in 3 weeks, you have your cargo. And this cargo is split all over Europe and Africa. And the shares of Africa is nearly 29% today. That means we are a port also for African ports. As I explained you before the cargo can move up to European ports and then come back, it takes 2 months. Now it takes only 3 weeks. Okay, we are a green port. That means all the electricity delivered to the port is green electricity. The whole port is working on green electricity, 100%. Okay, we are very keen on the environmental aspect, but also not by speaking or by making slogans, we use it effectively. We also have the possibility to deliver electricity to the ships, green electricity. When the ships are alongside, they can stop their engines, their powers, and we deliver them electricity in order to reduce the emission in the port. If we give you the shares that the volume of business created in Tanger Med, Africa represents 35%. Europe represents nearly 30%, and the rest of the world represents nearly 50 to 20%. That means Tanger Med is playing a pivotal role and the hub for the African countries. It's well connected to many African countries, mostly the Western African countries, more than Eastern. That makes us think about the future cooperation with Kenya, which is in the east of Africa. And it serves also the African economy. And now we're on top 20. We keep, and still we have the ambition to go ahead. We want to go for top 10. Even it's too hard. Because on top 10, you have the Chinese port.
Yes,
and the Chinese piece, this is like Premier League football. Okay, you see they deal with 50 millions, 40 millions. Yeah. But okay, we are coming.
You're headed there.
We have the possibility to accommodate the biggest vessels in the world. These large container ships that can transport more than 24,000 TEUs. with the 17 meters draft. And since Tanger Med can accommodate this vessel, we were reducing the time from China to Morocco, avoiding a call in an European port like Algeciras or Valencia. We have shortened the time, but also reduced the cost. And all the African countries, plus Morocco, plus the global trade, was making benefit from that, the position of the port and the key role that the port is playing today on the global trade. The logistics come to the port when it's well connected, which it's efficient, because they want to be sure that the cargo will be delivered on time. And they put their warehouses here. For Emirates, that it was in Dubai before, in Jebel Ali. They moved their warehouse to Morocco to address the African and European markets because it's too close. Okay. DHL is also there here. DHL, they are here. Decathlon, they have the biggest warehouse here. Oh. Yeah, the biggest. They deliver from Morocco, Middle East, and Europe and Africa. We believe that both Morocco and Kenya, they can find a space of cooperation. They can open a new space of cooperation. I think the both countries think and have shared the same value. Morocco in the north of Africa, Kenya, which is an important country with the very developed port sector in the east. And since we share the same values, we can help self-reliant and prosperous Africa, and for our countries, and also for the people of our countries. And we have to mention that the port is the third most efficient port in the world. That means that when the vessels they come alongside, the operation is very speedy, because the owners of the vessels, they look always how they can win time on the ports. That's what makes the port more attractive and more interested to the investors.